We are live.
What?
We are live. No bloopers, all right?
We're here?
Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it looks like we have Whoa Nelly in there. Hi. Yes, you were the first to comment. Good job. And we have Traveling Pisces. Good to see you guys again. We met you guys last in Albuquerque, but we never got together with you in Quartzsite. I think we were too busy. We just had so much going on. So
That's
kind
a
of,
busy place.
yeah, it is a busy place, but glad to have you guys along. So what are we talking about this week? We're talking about boondocking, and this is going to be just your basic boondocking 101. And we did over 200.
And 220 plus.
Yeah, 220 plus days of boondocking last year. Of course, we have the 1,000 Trails, and 1,000 Trails helps out. I got to take these glasses off.
Before you get into our topic,
wait. Okay, what?
We got to wait for everybody to get here.
Well, you got to wait for everybody.
We're just going to chat for a few before we get into the deep stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to take these glasses off because I can't see anything. They're great for style, and if I was going to hang out in a nightclub and I don't really need to see anything, I could wear these, right? But no, I can't. No to the glasses or no to the nightclub?
Either one.
Okay.
Actually, nightclubs can be kind of fun.
Oh my gosh. Hello, guys. Let's see if we can't put the chat window up on top here so that we can see. Whoa, Nelly's and Harry. How you doing?
Harry's here.
Yes.
Hi, Harry.
Yeah, Traveling Pisces. Yes, next year for sure. Or if you're going to be up in Oregon, or if you want to hang out with us at Area 51, yeah, we're definitely going there. So I think that one is in April, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
We need to write this down.
We need to write it down. I don't know where
to refer to.
The navigator knows where we're going to be, but
we need to start talking more about where we're going to be and when, because we have ideas.
Yes.
Things we can do.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So we moved from.
Where were we last? I think,
We were at Action.
We were at Chin. We were hanging out with Tom and Lori.
We moved north, and we thought we'd just kind of wing it and pull into. Well, we saw a sign for a new casino, Desert Diamond.
Yes.
West Valley Desert Diamond.
Yeah, up north of Phoenix.
Big spaces for RVs and trucks. And
beautiful area for. I mean, they had big area for RVs and for semi trucks, which. Yeah.
But.
And then.
As soon as we pulled in.
Yeah, we weren't even there a minute. I hadn't even shut down the engine, and a security guy came pulling up and said, well, I've got good news and bad news for you. Welcome to Desert Diamonds Casino. Feel free to spend your money here however you like. But the bad news is that you can't overnight. And we have stayed at Desert Diamond down in Tucson. So we were expecting a similar response when we got up to Desert Diamond in Phoenix. They have a beautiful area for parking RVs. They have a sign that says, what did the sign say?
24 hours.
24-hour RV parking, which we thought, well, that works.
One night. That's all we were looking for.
Yeah. And to have them come up and say, no overnight parking. So we never actually did get into Desert Diamond. And I hate saying their name so many times because they really don't deserve the advertising.
They didn't get any of our money.
But where we were at next was even cooler.
Yeah,
Cabela's was right around the corner. In fact, the security guy said you can go over to Cabela's. Well, yes and no. Cabela's, the parking lot was actually marked no overnight stays. Yet there was a bunch of NASCAR trucks there, NASCAR rigs, and
their buses.
And they were all staying overnight, I promise you. And they weren't kicking those folks out. Yeah. So we decided to take advantage, and thank you to Cabela's for not kicking us out. We didn't get any knocks on the door. And it was actually really interesting to go around and see all of the big multi-million-dollar tour buses with the, I'm sure the drivers and the teams, um,
Right.
and
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 who was walking around the
oh
parking
my
lot?
God, walking around the
Nobody other
parking lot.
than
You saw him first.
Richard Petty.
Richard Petty
Like,
is,
isn't that? Oh yeah,
yeah,
it
it
is.
is. Richard Petty was walking around the parking lot and going from the different trucks and talking to the different drivers and so forth. Got to see him. No, we didn't go up and ask him for an autograph, but uh, very cool, very cool. So
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
a little skittish about bugging people about autographs, and
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. And I went to school where I grew up. I grew up in Southern California. We were surrounded by the movie industry.
Yeah.
We were surrounded by the recording industry. So growing up for me, I saw famous people on a regular basis, and it actually was more fodder for making fun of the kids at school than than actually wow factor. Of course, I was young, but yeah, we
All right.
one of the gals. I hopefully she grew up and had a great career in acting, but she did a Nestle Quick commercial. I can remember vividly. Oh my gosh, she got so much flack from the kids at school
Wow.
over the Nestle Quick commercial. So it was still fun, but all my life it seems like I have been around famous people, and it's never affected me that way that I needed to go and say hi. Richard Petty was a little different though. I was this close. I was really tempted. Uh,
All right. So, do you want to show everybody where we are? Just give
where
a quick
are we? Do we
scan.
want to? I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not. And we are definitely going to turn the camera. Let's see if we can get it. We are at Verde Valley Thousand Trails, and we are at the office up above. They have a nice little patio area here, and you can kind of see us down here. But just beautiful views, and I thought, well, as soon as the light kind of calms down, maybe we can get that view out that way. But until then, we had to kind of turn the laptop here over just so that we could kind of. There we go. Did I get us? There,
Centered again.
there we go.
Yeah, windy.
Yeah, and we've just been here a couple days. So literally today was our first day. We had to go and get gas in the truck and go and search for a place that we could do the live. And here we are.
Yeah.
So no shortage of places. There's so many changes here. We haven't been here in 2 years. There have been so many changes here. They've
Wow.
Oh my gosh, they have added on some beautiful 50 amp sites
That have that view.
that have that view. Yeah, yeah. And
Hey,
so we're definitely going to have to redo our
review.
review for Valley Verde. So we'll be looking for that at some point here in the near future. We'll try to get that out before too long. And but so did we cover everything? Is everybody here? It looks like everybody is here.
Sticker update.
Sticker update. Okay. Sticker Queen. She did the stickers for us this year, and we have stickers.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see if I can get one out. But
You carry them in your pocket, eh?
we did have those shipped here. Well, I thought maybe, we might end up having to show stickers, so I wanted to make sure that we had some. We picked those up here at the office, and so there you go, guys. There's the new sticker, and they turned out gorgeous. Love them, love them, love them. So,
Yeah, looks
and we thought we have a few people coming that are coming to get their stickers here. We have a few people that have requested them online. If
good.
you
Going out in the mail tomorrow. Today's Sunday.
Yes,
Yesterday I
yes.
was still working on it, but tomorrow Those of you who have given us addresses will they'll be sent out tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. If you want a sticker, definitely just send us an email to our endeavor for you, number four, letter U, at gmail.com. And let us know what your address is. We'll get those in the mail. And as soon as we get out of here.
Tom and Laurie are here. Hi,
Hi,
guys.
guys.
Question. How's the Wi-Fi here? Because Traveling Pisces didn't want to come here because it wasn't very great.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you have a booster, you're probably going to be in better shape. Now, I can tell you up here where we're at by the office, which is kind of up high, we haven't had any problem with the Wi-Fi. In fact, I just did a speed test on it, and it was. You guys should be getting a pretty good feed from us here.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. But down lower where we're at, we didn't pay extra for the 50 amp sites, which are up higher. So we are down lower into the valley. We get a little bit of AT&T and a little bit of T-Mobile. We did put the booster up, and that made all the difference. We watched Netflix last night. We had no problems at all.
Yeah.
So it's not great, but if you have a booster, your world would be a much better place. The 50 amp sites are up. The new areas, and there are several of them, they're all up higher. And I have a feeling those people don't have any
Better.
problem.
Yeah. Better connection.
So,
Yeah.
no. Waiting for Marcy to choose the pick for our sticker.
Our
Oh,
stickers.
imagine, yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
We're on the list for a sticker.
Yes, we're on the list for a sticker. So if you guys have stickers out there and you want to trade, let us know. Send us an email, and we'll trade.
Send them on out.
We'd love to have your stickers. So,
All right.
okay,
On to our topic. Now, the reason we are on this topic today,
Boondocking 101.
we've had several people ask us, number one, what is boondocking?
Literally today.
What is boondocking? So we're going to start from the very bottom, explaining what it is, and go from there. So,
Yeah,
you know, if you've been doing this for a while, just have patience with us.
right, right.
Some people don't know.
You know, the term boondocking gets, you put that out online, and there's so many people say, oh, that's just dry camping, or that is, everybody has a little bit different interpretation of it. And boondocking basically is camping or staying out without hookups, without power, without water, sometimes both, without sewer, sometimes all three. If Courtside is a perfect example, there are no hookups. You're out in the desert and you've literally parked there. And I know there's a lot of terminology out there people want to nitpick, but let's just put it down to brass tacks. Just no hookups. You're wherever you're at. So there's many different names for it. There's dry camping, there's lot docking, there's share docking, there's mooch docking. And mooch docking tends to lead one to believe that you are getting something from your host wherever you're staying at.
Yes.
But for most part, any of your docking terms, we're just going to go and generalize it into you don't have full hookups. You don't have hookups in general. So
another term, dispersed camping.
Dispersed camping, yes.
Whoa, Nelly added.
Yeah. We did find out Florida doesn't view RVs as dispersed camping.
Nope.
Yeah,
you have to be in a tent.
Yes, you have to be hiking and in a tent, not on all four wheels, not in a vehicle, to be dispersed camping in Florida. So far, they're the only ones that we've come across.
Yeah, we kind of disagree.
Yeah, we kind of disagree, but you can't argue with the Forest Service guy when he comes and tells you you can't stay here. But it says dispersed camping is allowed. Nope, you can't stay here. So,
okay, well,
true experience. We went through it. So,
Florida.
Don't understand why, but that's the way that they view it. So, so Where do we start at? Boondocking is what what does boondocking represent? And for me, it's freedom. It's a freedom to go and stay legally and within the proper areas, and we'll talk about that more later. Anywhere
Mhm.
and be able to live comfortably and enjoy wherever you're at, whether it's nature, whether it's the desert, whether it's the mountains. Maybe you wanted to catch that first snowfall or the changing of the leaves in autumn. Um, it gives you the ability to be wherever you want to be and not be restricted to an RV park or a campground where there might or might not be
Hookups. Yeah.
hookups. So, how's that?
That sounds
Yeah,
about right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get down to the bare basics of boondocking. You know, tenting. I used to do backpacking and hiking. In fact, I still have a backpack, sleeping bag, and so forth. But it basically means you're providing your own shelter, your own water, and your own ability to live.
Mhm.
And the comfort level, obviously, from a backpack goes up depending on what it is that you want. When it relates to boondocking, relates to a vehicle, we're going to assume that your vehicle is already your shelter. So we have water, and we have basically broken these down into groups. You have your water, you have your power, you have what else we have?
Well, you have to have your power supplies and anything you might need in your vehicle, your shelter,
Yeah,
to keep you out there for a number of days or weeks, depending on how much you can bring with you.
yeah, and self-sustaining yourself in your vehicle. So we'll talk a little bit about shelter. Your vehicle, what it is that you choose. It's obviously, it doesn't necessarily have to be a vehicle. You could have a tent and still boondock out in the middle of the desert. Um, Again, though, you're talking about your own comfort level, and if your comfort level is in the back of a Prius, you can't do a Prius.
We've moved past the tenting and the Prius and the Jeep
Yeah,
and the we're into the bigger vehicles,
yeah,
and
but some people, that's what
people like it.
that's
That's
what
fine.
their enjoyment in life is. We see them all the time. That's the other thing about boondocking. Generally, where you find to boondock, you're going to find other people out there that are boondocking with you, and so expect that, and know that that is going to be out there, and
Lots of them. More and more these days, I swear.
yeah, yeah. So um,
Your essentials for boondocking. Let's just leave the tents and the car
yep.
camping
So we
people out.
covered the shelter.
Yes.
Yeah,
We like our bigger shelters.
yeah, yeah. Your essentials are you're going to be what limits us. I should say, let me back up a little bit. This is for us. This is what works for us. We're going to give you a lot of our opinions that work for us and the way that we do it. Boondocking over 200 days this last year. We do enjoy our parks. We do enjoy the showers and the pools and the hot
Hot
tubs,
tub.
right?
No.
But we really, our love really is in our boondocking. Some of the places where gotten to, you can't beat it. You really can't. No pool or hot tub is going to make up for some of the views and some of the places where we wake up and call our backyard home. So
Love it.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you're going to be out there, what do you need?
Your water supply is going to be your biggest um, oh
Limiting
limiting
factor.
factor on how long you can supply. We can do a lot of things, but we can't do it without water. And water, typically it's when you're out boondocking, you're not going to have availability of water. You're not going to have some place where you can refill your tanks. Now you may be able to move and go and get some,
drive into town, get more, but
or you could be doing it on bottled water or so forth. There's a lot of people that do that too. Um, but water is your limiting factor. We can go without food for 30 days. We can go without a lot of things, but water about 3 days is the longest you're ever going to be able to go without water. And I can't live without my coffee, so I can't even make it past this live.
nope, not
Right.
without the coffee.
uh,
So anyway,
yeah. So how much water would you need to survive out in the desert or survive out in the mountains or something like that? Our basic rule is 2 gallons per person per day. And that's going to kind of vary depending on each person and what they need. But for us, that basic necessity is water. And I bring that up because there's a lot of people out there that haven't bought RVs yet. The people that we just ran into today, awesome people, sweet. Oh my gosh. And they're staying at a cabin here at the resort.
okay.
Um, but they're talking, oh, they'd love to do the RV thing. But where do you get started? And what is boondocking? And, there was a number of questions that came just in the 15, 20 minutes that we sat and talked. And so those people haven't even bought an RV yet, but they love the idea. And where do you start with? So we give the basics and we give this information. So when you're out shopping for an RV, or if you're looking to upgrade your RV, or if you're looking for another RV, you kind of know what you want to be important to you while you're searching for that new rig.
Freshwater tank.
Yep, that fresh water tank is going to be your biggest one. And
But power.
well, power is too. Yeah, we're going to get to that. We're going to, as soon as we get off of the water, we're going to go straight to the power. But so the water, when you're looking at an RV and it says it has a 30-gallon tank, um, two people in that RV, 30 gallons, are probably going to be about a week, about 7 days or so, and they're going to be looking for water. So it's just been our general feel on it. Now, if you can conserve water, there's a lot of different things that you can do. You can take sailor showers. You can use wet wipes for showers. You can use bottled water for your coffee, things like that. But ultimately, from a comfort standpoint, 30 gallons is probably for two people is probably going to buy you about 7 days. And you're going to be able to look at that RV and say, okay, it's got a 60-gallon water tank, or it's got a 100-gallon water tank, and then kind of decide.
I like the 100-gallon.
I like the 100. Now we have a 100-gallon tank,
Yeah.
and for us, we make it 14 days comfortably. But we take showers. I'm drinking coffee just about every 5 minutes, and
He's more than the 2 gallons per person.
right.
Way
No.
Anyways, go.
No.
Okay.
All right.
On to power.
On
Come
to power. So let's move
You
from
only get
water
10
to power. Yep. So the power side of things, power is one of those things that's kind of like money. The more that you have, the more you're going to use, and it like Tim Taylor says, there's no such thing as too much power.
True.
So it really comes down to your budget,
Your comfort level.
and what do you want to do. Um, we have 380 watts of solar. We also have a generator, and we have a 2200 watt inverter and 6 golf cart batteries. And that basically gives us everything we need, except for maybe running the generator about an hour or two per day. Um, and we'll get into cooking. The reason we kind of I'm a little hesitant on that because we do use it in the morning for cooking. We use the generator. We use the generator in the evening for cooking,
Dinner time.
and then of course we're watching TV, and the generator will usually come on 9, 10 o'clock and shut off when we go to bed. So
Yeah, and that was one of our main questions, Dale, was how we do our boondocking with a generator.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, you have to factor in your batteries and if you have solar to help out.
yeah. How much? Yeah, how much you have of solar, what you have of batteries is really going to decide how much that you're running that generator. And somebody asked me, and I've been asked many times, well, what's more important? If I buy a travel trailer and it doesn't have a generator on, is it more important to buy a generator or is it more important to buy a solar? Buy a solar setup for the roof. And well, here's my feeling on that. And again, it's my opinion. It's our opinion based on the last couple hundred days of boondocking. Um, your generator is going to be more important than your solar. And the reason that I say that is you're not always going to have solar. You're not always going to have sunny days.
Nighttime.
At
Can't charge
nighttime,
you up.
yeah, nighttime, you're not going to be able to charge up. There are certain instances where just about all other renewable energy sources are not going to be able to provide power. I hear very little about wind power. I see a few wind generators out there.
Really?
Yeah, but mostly it's solar. It's solar is the most reliable um, renewable source. But your generator is going to come in at night when you're trying to watch that TV show, charge the phones and the laptops. And again, it's going to come down to your own comfort level. If you're okay sitting in the dark, not watching TV, and hey, when it gets dark, I go to bed.
Some people are like
Yeah,
that.
maybe that is a better opportunity for you to look at solar. For us, no, we kind of do the same thing we did in a sticks and bricks. We're watching TV. We've got lights on. Sometimes we have people over. Tom and Lori will keep us up all night playing
Mexican train.
Mexican Train.
Love ya.
But no, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. You're not going to be able to rely on solar. Wind generator. I can tell you, the winds generally die down at night.
They do.
So you're not going to have much coming that way. Um, but a battery bank also plays an important role. You can only store so much power as what you have for a battery bank. And we have seen people come out and try to boondock with one 12-volt interstate battery.
It's first time out.
Yeah, and he did okay. There was a couple things we even learned from him, but we were plugging him in and doing a little bit of share docking.
That's share docking.
Yeah.
We plugged him in to help him out.
To get him charged up, usually in the morning. And worse yet, if you're, and I totally, and I say this importantly, I do not recommend running off of your auto or your car battery to provide your power for your
travel trailer
for your living, for your house batteries. Yeah. I have seen people wake up the next morning with dead batteries so many times. And it is just horrible on your car battery. It will kill a car battery in less than a year, if even that. And it not only that, but it's not really safe because now you don't have a vehicle that you can start and drive away
to go get what you need,
and to be in a little safer position. So yeah, don't use your car battery. Don't make sure that that's separate. I say that, but that's bad because I just recently swapped over our chassis batteries to one full golf cart batteries.
Just set.
So we don't have a separate chassis battery. We have only house batteries. They're all golf cart batteries on the coach. It has been working wonderfully. But the other thing that we have is an auto gen start that basically is going to charge those batteries if they start getting low. And we have never even gone below 12 volts, let alone dead batteries. And so I guess I need to practice what I preach, but
Always. Anyway, so comments. We can go about a week on fresh water. They have a 46-gallon fresh tank, 4 to 5 days comfortably.
Yeah.
Whoa, Nelly heard that parking under a streetlight can give you power to your solar.
Not true.
I
I have
no
looked
idea.
every time, and I have never seen anything coming in from the streetlights. And we love our casinos. A lot of them are very brightly lit, and yeah, I've gone back to see just if we had any power coming in. No power was actually registering on our solar, and so yeah, I probably wouldn't count on that.
So Tom and Lori said, choo choo. And traveling Pisces and the inverter. Let's talk about inverter.
Let's talk about the inverter. Absolutely. So again, it's kind of like the solar. It's kind of like the generator, the batteries. You're going to use as much as you have. And it's no different with your inverter. If you have a 300-watt inverter, I promise you're going to use every last bit of that 300 watts. We have a 2200-watt inverter, and we use all of it many times. But what is an inverter? So an inverter basically, an inverter takes the power from your batteries, your house batteries, and it's going to convert it to 110 and give you 110 power that you can plug in your laptop, your coffee maker, your all those household items that we normally had at home now are usable in a coach if they don't have a 12-volt option for them. And so that power is going to use basically for your large television sets, your laptops. Karen uses hair dryer, or I use hair dryer, vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
As much as we love those little hand vacs, those probably aren't going to cover us for trying to keep our floors clean on a whole coach. Yeah. So being able to plug in a vacuum cleaner and vacuum the floors, vacuum the carpet, all of those things rely on 110 power. And that inverter is what's going to provide that power for you. So shift gears. What? Oh,
we're losing the lights.
We are.
And we need to turn.
It's still pretty bright in the back, but we can try turning it a little bit.
And the moon. Can we get the moon?
Can we get the moon? I don't know if we can get the moon or not.
We don't have a sunset for you.
Yeah, we don't have a sunset for you. Hopefully, there we go. And we are losing our light here. Let's see if we can get some light on. And you guys can kind of get that view out the back here. So your inverter comes in different sizes, and they vary anywhere between 50 watts and I've heard them as high as 4,000 watts. They're going to increase in price depending on what you have in your coach, and what you may ask for an option, or maybe you buy one on Amazon and add it to the coach. The more that you have, the more that you're going to use. So, I'm never one to shy away from spending a little bit more and getting a little bit bigger inverter than what maybe you think you need. And So I can tell you with 2200 watts, we can generally do light cooking. We can do microwave, hair dryers, vacuum cleaners, um, things like that without too much trouble. And what you can't run on it is a heater. You can, but the problem is you're only going to be able to run that heater for a very short amount of time before it drags down your batteries. The other thing that might be important that I've seen on some of the newer RVs is they're putting separate inverters in. So they're taking smaller inverters and they'll put one for the television and maybe the VCR up front. They'll give another inverter, a smaller inverter, for the refrigerator if you have a residential fridge or something like that. And then yet another one for the kitchen area. Lots of different ideas out there. We have a whole house inverter. Basically, one inverter supplies the whole house with 110. Whatever we plug in the bedroom, whatever we plug in the front living room, is all coming off the same inverter. And it is easy to overtax your inverter. Um, and yeah, so all right.
Next.
Yeah, so the next up is solar. I would say solar is one of those add-on items. If you're looking for a coach and you want solar to be your thing, I've seen a lot of people come out and they do just fine without solar as long as they have a generator. And they'll run their generator, and they'll run it on a regular basis. And believe me, generators don't use that much fuel. They use a little bit, but they don't use that much. And if you added up our fuel costs we use our generator whenever it's needed, and I'll bet you it still doesn't come over $25 a month. Would you say?
Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah. So it's not smoky. Somebody said it's smoky gray, purple.
Smoky
Yeah,
gray.
it's just kind of the sun is going down. I don't know if I'm in the
description of the color.
Yeah.
Where's the moon?
Where is the moon?
It's like
I don't know.
Moon.
It's out there, but I think it's getting washed out in the camera view.
Did you see what Tom and Lori wrote?
Yes. What? Yeah. I don't know where Venus is.
It's on that side of the building.
We've got an inside joke. Thanks, Lori. Appreciate that.
Probably Tom.
It might be. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So where are we going from there? Gosh, we are burning through this. If you guys have any questions, just absolutely.
Shout 'em out.
Yeah.
Shout 'em out. Yeah. Okay, we kind of talked about water, but let's talk about water and tank size.
Water kind of goes to tank size, doesn't it? Yeah. And so let's
what
see.
you bring with you in water goes down into the tank.
Yeah, and what you drink goes down into the tank. So your black tank and your gray tank are going to be your holding tanks for your RV. Depending on how big those are, those can also be a limiting factor. Although typically your RV manufacturers will make your holding tanks in conjunction with what your freshwater capacity is. So in our case, we have a 40-gallon black water tank. This is where all the bad stuff goes from the toilet.
Nasty stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Your gray water is what comes from the sinks, the shower, and that we have a 60-gallon water tank, a gray tank. So we only have room for 100 gallons of water. And if, between the black tank and the gray tank, we shouldn't fill those up by the time we're out of water. That's the theory anyway. If you start doing your dishes and start dumping your dishwater into the toilet, that goes into your black tank.
Fill up the black too quickly.
That's going to fill up your black too quickly. And we don't even want to talk about if you're peeing into your sink. So
no. And we don't do the jugs of pee too.
No, and we're not going to do 5-gallon buckets with with Walmart bags. Although I have to give them credit for recycling. It's at least.
Dang.
Uh, well, those guys with the tents and the jeeps and stuff. They,
Well, they have to do something with all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
and at least it's not out on the
Whatever.
streets of San Francisco. So
That's true.
yeah,
I know,
yeah.
right?
So give them credit where credit is due. Oh, okay.
Anyways, we got sidetracked there.
Yeah. uh, um. So did we cover the
Tanks,
tanks? Yeah.
grays and blacks, showers and bathing. If you're trying to boondock, you want to conserve on water
Yeah.
with your
Yeah.
showers.
Yeah, and any number of different things that we have seen over the years for conserving water, we do it ourselves. Our toilet actually has a switch setting. It is an electric valve toilet. It has a switch on the back of it that I discovered later on after we had owned the coach for about a year. Um, that switch allows you to manually flush according to how much you need, and it's not an totally automatic flush. Great for boondocking. We also will turn off the water pump when we flush. That will reduce the amount of fresh water that's used for the toilet. And there's, we showers. We turn our shower down to very low.
Yeah.
It's not hardly using any water at all, but I do like my showers. I've never been a wet wipe person. I can't feel like I'm getting clean with wet wipes. I really do need a shower, and that's one of.
Well, there's showers and there's sailor showers where you shut the water off when you need to.
Yep.
And there's
Yeah.
what I call bird bath, where you
Okay.
fill up a little bit of water in the sink and a wash rag and you can do all you want to do. And then there's the wipes, and there's
Yeah.
many levels of.
Well, explain this sailor shower because some people probably haven't heard
Well,
that before.
you're in your shower stall. You turn it on long enough to get everything wet. You shut it off, and then you soap up, shampoo up, all that kind of stuff. Then you turn it back on long enough to rinse your soaps and everything off, and you save a lot of water that way. And many people use it.
Yeah, that's especially good for the women. I have short hair. Karen has long hair, and trying to get shampoo out of your hair with just a little bit of water doesn't really work all that well. So, turn that water on and actually get some water flow to get the water, get the soap out of your hair. But then, we have a
Shut it back
switch
off.
basically that shuts the shower head off so you can do soaping and so forth. And we haven't had too much of a problem with our method to madness, and we haven't needed the wet wipes. And I'm good with that. I think so.
Yeah.
We don't even have them for an emergency. So I think we'd be doing the bird bath, as you call it, if we had an emergency.
Wet washcloth is a great thing.
Yeah. Traveling Pisces, yes, he
No
has
hair.
hair. If you have no hair, you are good to go.
It's super easy.
Right?
Very little water use.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom and Lori have two separate grades, and that
Oh,
makes it better.
yeah. So, a lot of the rigs have, we're seeing it more in fifth wheels, I think. I don't see it in too many coaches. But two great tanks, one for the galley and one for the bathroom and shower and things like that. And it's an interesting concept. And I don't know how that works for you, but it probably works pretty well, I would think. So there are some states that do allow you to dump your gray water and just what I call watering the bushes.
Yeah.
And it is legal to do if you're not doing it with your, I think it's the gray. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. I think they allow you to dump your shower water.
Shower water.
They don't
But
want
not
you
the
to dump
kitchen.
the kitchen water because that has solids in it, and
Yeah.
they don't want that dumped. So But
So Imagine Travels has the right idea. We do the same thing. We have a nice little jug that when we start the shower water, we catch all the water while it's cold until it gets warm. Then we shut it off. We save that water for other things. And when we jump in, it's already warm.
yeah, and we've heard some complaints about getting the water hot in the shower and it takes forever. If you have a balancing single handle faucet or diverter in your shower like we do, we have found that if you turn that all the way to hot, all the way to hot, and then run it, it
While you're
takes,
catching.
yeah, while you're catching, and that actually will heat up and it will reach the shower faster and get hotter faster, where then you can turn it down to a proper level. But
When you get in.
we've heard some people say, "My gosh, I have to sit there and wait at the water heater for 10 minutes, and I just don't want to waste that kind of water." And I don't blame you. No, don't do that. Try to figure out.
Catch it for other uses.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a nice clean container. You can take it into the kitchen, use it for dishes, use it for coffee.
Coffee. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, this is where we're going to talk about those other water heaters.
Oh my gosh, yes, yes. So let's talk about water heaters really quick. If you're looking for an RV, if you're looking for a new RV or even a used RV, be aware that some of the water heaters that they're putting out on the coaches today are using the Insta hot water heaters. Okay. Those are a great idea in theory.
From what I've heard, I'm thinking not so
Yeah,
much.
not for boondocking. Absolutely
Yeah.
not for boondocking. So here's the problem with those, and I could be corrected. We don't have one. We have a 10-gallon tank water heater. It actually fills up with 10 gallons of water and heats 10 gallons of water. Um, the tankless, they actually heat instantly. The problem is they take about 10 minutes to heat up and get to the shower, or maybe they're connected right to the shower. Even then, um, now you have hot water and you've already poured out a bunch of water, or tried to catch it in your pitcher.
Catch it while it's heating.
Now you get in to take your shower and you shut your shower off so that you can rinse up, doing the sailor shower thing. And now you turn it back on, it's back to cold again. Now it has to reheat and heat back up. And I don't know about you, but I couldn't handle that blast of cold water back on me when I go to turn that on. So beware. The one guy in Quartzsite that we were talking about earlier with the battery, he only had a 12-volt battery.
He also had one of these things.
He also had one of these. He could not take a shower out boondocking. It just did not work for him. It was easier to fill a sink with warm water and just and kind of bathe that way.
The bird bath kind of thing.
Right.
And this is all what we've heard. We don't know firsthand. So if anybody's had better experiences with those things, let us know.
Yeah. I think those instant hot water heaters would work great if you're hooked in a park. And I think a lot of those, they kind of set it up so that you can go park to park, and their idea was never to boondock in it.
Yeah.
So boondocking kind of takes it in a different direction, and it's something to be aware of when you're out looking for an RV. You're out thinking about getting a coach that is going to work for you. So let me
see the moon.
Yeah, there's the moon. You can kind of see the moon. And we finally got it there. So
am I still? Oh, I'm still.
That is not a street light or a UFO, although it could if I moved it a little bit. No.
Sorry, I'm so distracting.
I know, right?
I'm laughing at comments, making rude interruptions.
I know, right?
Right?
My gosh. All right.
Okay, so how are we doing on time? Oh, we're running out of time.
Yeah,
so let's move on to finding boondocking locations.
Yeah, where do you boondock? That's the other question that we hear. It's like, oh, I barely know what boondocking is. And where do you boondock? And we use a variety of sources. Some of them are put out on the in the form of apps. Um, All Stays, Campendium we use a lot.
A lot.
Freecampsites.net. You can put these on your phone and pull up a search, and it'll search the area around you, and you can filter that down and tell it to find places that don't cost anything to stay there. And you'll see a number of places. There'll be casinos. There'll be highway rest areas. There'll be Cracker Barrels, WalMarts, and there will be campgrounds. There will be BLM boondocking areas. And
Well, for BLM boondocking areas, we take the time to go through the reviews
yeah,
and read about connectivity, what the road is like getting in there, how big is the area, will we fit? Because we are bigger than a lot of other RVs.
yeah. Having whatever size rig that you have, and whatever your limitations are, whether it's big or small or whatever that may be, it's good to read through the reviews. It's good to see Campendium. We leave reviews on there. It will give you a good rundown and tell you about the ins and outs of that particular place, what it took to get in there. And obviously, if somebody says, yeah, it took a four-wheel drive vehicle, a high clearance vehicle to get in there, we know we can't go there. So we're not even going to try. The other one that I watch for is the 5-star, 4-star. I'm looking for stars. If it's got a lot of stars, I want to read what it is that people like about that. And
if it's got almost no stars, 1 star, no.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
It might not be right for you,
Yeah.
or maybe nobody has put a review in for it.
We've seen a lot
So.
of that.
The other one that I will use, say that you have that 1 star or that no star spot, I will pull up Google Maps and do a satellite view. And I'm looking at the road going in. Are there any places to turn around? How big is the area? Is there going to be enough room that I can safely park us up there and we can be comfortable? What is around that area? Rivers, and so forth. Bridges are another one that you have to be careful of, depending on how high your vehicle is. Weight limits. We've got caught on that a couple times.
Yeah.
So, and literally had to turn around at the head of a bridge and go the other direction. We could not go across the bridge. So
spend a little time. Satellite view, you can kind of view the whole road. You can spend some time kind of checking out a lot of different things. Tom, you mentioned a different site that we are not familiar with for looking at places to boondock. If you could put that in the comments, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Laura said talk about spoondocking.
Spoondocking. Okay, we haven't heard that one before.
That's recent.
But we got it. And that's when you're out boondocking and somebody parks really close to you. Yeah. And I like the term. We'll go with that, Lori. I think it works great for that.
I like it. Yeah,
every now and then somebody parks a little too close. That's kind of one of the problems with boondocking, if there are problems. It's minor, but typically people like to be around other people. You can be off in the middle of nowhere, enjoying your own little slice of heaven, your own little piece of the desert, and nobody else around, and somebody else will come in and they will park right by you. And
maybe it's an insecurity thing, kind of like Laura
it could
was
be
saying. That's okay.
Yeah.
We kind of get that, but yeah, there are limits.
Yeah. I always say before you park next to somebody close, go and talk to them.
Yeah. Say,
sometimes you know what, they're not going to have a problem, and sometimes you'll have a new friendship out of the deal.
Yeah.
But it also, there are some people that are very, very particular about you being within a half mile of them.
Yeah, if they're going to be grouchy about it, don't go there.
Yeah, right.
Imagine Travel says they just want your Grey Poupon.
Not while I'm drinking.
I love it.
And they might.
Hand it over.
right.
I'm over.
Uh, so where is the best place? The other question we have, where I'm new to RVing. I've never boondocked before. I get it. Now I know what boondocking is. But where is a good place to try this out for the first time? I don't really know what how much my rig can do. I don't know what my limitations are going to be until I actually go out there and do it. So what are good places to go out and try?
Stay close to civilization. In case you have a problem, you can back it up and run in if you need to.
Hmm.
Be somewhere out, but not really far out.
Hmm.
Stay close.
And we all did it. When we didn't just buy an RV and go, we're going out in the middle of the desert. No, we all started someplace. And for me, it was campgrounds. The campgrounds were beautiful. They're generally around other people, so I don't feel like I am isolated or alone in case something bad
Going
happens.
on.
And if I have troubles, I have somebody that can help me. So your campgrounds, your Forest Service campgrounds, things like that are going to be a great resource to go out there and try it for the first time. And I totally recommend that. Go out there and try it. You're going to learn so much from your first night to your second night to eventually you're going to get to what your rig can do. You're going to know the things that you want to improve and make that better.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
And here we are years later. Now we can go off in the middle of the desert by ourselves, and we're just fine. We can park out there, and we have no qualms or issues. And
Couple great suggestions.
Yeah, yeah,
Buddy up.
buddy. Oh my gosh, that is
Yeah.
a terrific one.
Now, Will and
Friends.
Ellie started in their driveway, their first.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, right
Just
in your driveway.
unhook, see
Yeah.
how it goes. If you have any problems, go in the house and cry.
You're gonna go in the house. Okay. Well, I think of
Figure
it as a
out
learning opportunity.
from a girl's point of view. Anyway,
Oh,
too
nice,
funny.
nice. Oh my gosh. Well, we got about 2.5 minutes left, you guys. Oh my gosh, it goes by so fast. Did we miss anything? Is there anything that, if you're new out there, definitely say hi. And if we haven't answered a question,
Throw it out there.
throw it out
Don't
there.
be afraid to throw it out
I think
there.
the only thing that I didn't mention is finding an RV. Don't assume if you go and buy a new RV
Yeah.
at the dealership that it's automatically going to be okay for boondocking or that you can use it for boondocking. Surprisingly, a lot of RV manufacturers are making those RVs for park to park.
Yeah.
They're not really taking into account boondocking. So if boondocking is something that you want to do and you want that to be part of your RV lifestyle, definitely look into those things that we've talked about on this video. Definitely make sure those things are whatever rig that you're going to get, whether it's new or used, it's going to fit or be able to be adapted to what it is that you want to do with it. But don't assume that if you're buying a new rig from an RV place that it's going to come boondock ready.
Right. And they'll tell you all kinds of things, but you need to know what you need to do this sort of thing and confront them. Say, hey, I need solar, I need this, I need that, or I'm looking for these things.
Yeah, just having that ability to boondock and telling them, and now you can say confidently to that person selling that vehicle,
Sales.
will this rig boondock?
Will it do it?
And great,
What do I
let's
need?
unplug it. And I want to
Yeah.
try out all the systems on this. And there shouldn't be any problem if it can truly, if you can boondock that rig. I totally recommend doing that. So it was a great live stream. Thank you, Traveling Pisces. It goes so fast, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, we are right at the end. We got about 30 seconds left, but wow, some of them just go by
So fast. We had so much to talk about.
We're going to talk about, I think one of these lives coming up, we're going to talk about security.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that as part of boondocking and the full-time RV experience, and we'll approach that one here in the next live or two, and get on there.
It's on our list.
Again, if you want a sticker, definitely send us an email. Let us know your address, and we'll send those out to you. But otherwise, my gosh, you guys are awesome. So glad to hang out with you. Thank you for the thumbs up out there. Appreciate it. And we're going to get out of here.
Hang on, let me.
You-
For you.
Oh, Karen is putting in on. There it is.
Our endeavor for you.
Oh, no, that's
Gmail.com. I'm trying to rush.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you did it. So we'll give it just a minute here. Go ahead and do our net.
All right.
It's not .com, it's .net. Our endeavor.
No, it's not gmail.com.
Oh, the Gmail. Our endeavor for you .gmail.
Trying to get the for you
There we go.
at gmail. .com.
We're in the dark here.
It's
Wait a
dark.
minute.
I can't see my keyboard. Oh, that's better.
Is that better? There we
There
go.
we go.
There. We keep the light on.
There we go.
There we go.
It comes up as a orange square, but as long as you know, it's for you gmail.com.
That is awesome. We are also on our village, on our endeavor, and our endeavor.net.
.net.
And Karen does the .net. We're also on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Yes. Our Endeavor on Facebook. So, guys, thank you so much for coming. And we had a great time. Whoa, Nellie is out there. So glad to have you guys. Tom and Lori, you are awesome. Oh, we love you guys. You guys, Harry, you have a good night. And we will.
Everybody.
Yes, we'll definitely. Marcy Webb is out there. Who else is out there? Lori is. Oh, Lori had
Mike
her
and
own.
MJ, they're out there.
Oh my
Traveling
gosh.
Pisces.
Yes. Glad you guys came by. We're running a little bit over, so we're going to wrap this one up. But thank you so much. Cheers, you guys. Hopefully, we didn't even talk about what everybody had to drink.
Well, that's what we usually do. They kind of know that.
We'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.